Okay, so hopefully you can see this now. I had some technical difficulty working out the kinks on learning how to stream with some new software. But for today's go live, what I wanted to share with you is my story on how it is that I had started charging for salon consultation about 20 years ago and why you should be doing the same thing if you're not already. All right. So first of all, I'm a stylist just like you. In fact, you can see that's a real background. I'm in my salon currently today. So I when I first started out, it would be about 30 years ago, and I wanted to be a hairstylist ever since I was about 8 years old. I never would have dreamt from that time to where I am now that I'd be specializing in very, very elaborate makeovers. And how did that happen? Well, I always loved, I don't know about you, have you ever watched a makeover show? And even though you know that like it's going to look fabulous at the end, you just have to sit there until you get to the last final scene of that type of show because you want to see the after. Well, right from the get-go, I remember going to work one day and the salon I used to work in had 8 women that were all like in the business for 15 to 40 something plus years. And this one particular day, I did a perm on this lady and I was so slow at wrapping perms. And it took me like 4 hours to be able to take care of her from start to finish. When I was done, I was cashing her out, and then she left, she went out the door, and, I thought that, I didn't give her back her change, and I went running out to the car to go catch her, and I said, excuse me, here's, sorry, we didn't give you back your change correctly," and she's like, No, that's for you." Now, this would have been in the '90s. She gave me like a 20 something dollar tip on a perm in the '90s. Now, to paint a picture of what kind of salon I worked in, it wasn't like what I've built today. It was a roller set shop. So the average service was maybe 10 to $12 for a roller set. I don't think the perm was even maybe $40. But this is what she said to me that day. She said, I haven't stepped foot into a salon in years, and nobody's taken that much time with me, I don't think ever, and you made me feel better about myself." And I was like, "Whoa, whoa," is all that I can say. It was like this. You ready? It was like, "Whoa." And so that left a lasting impression on me as a very young stylist back in the day, that it's our responsibility to help our guests when they come in the door feel comfortable. And there's nothing nicer than helping women feel comfortable, feel beautiful, and to meet and exceed their expectations, which now brings me to why I happen to be so passionate as a salon owner, a private stylist, and an educator as to why a salon consultation is just the most important customer service experience and service that we could provide to the people that entrust us with their looks. And so the other thing is time, money, and why, if you're not charging for this after you finish watching this, I hope that I help you think differently about your own time, your own professional expertise, and that maybe you take the leap on charging for a consultation. All right, so now fast track to maybe year 5, I was behind the chair, and I saw from working in all different types of salons by then, because I had salon hopped. I was trying to find like the right environment. The first salon was awesome. The lady was just, she had a heart of gold. It was a customer that said, "Oh, go over here and work at this fancy spa." And so I left a small town like they were family, they got along well, to go for the glitter and glitz of something that looked fancier. And so at the time in the 90s, it wound up being a day spa, hair salon. It had everything. There were 25 of us on staff. And I took a position as a manicurist in hopes of getting on the hair side because I had taken the extra steps to have my manicuring license as well. Well, I only stayed there about 9 months. For me, the environment was too big. It was just, uncomfortable, and for me, I just felt that the atmosphere was a little bit too pretentious, and so it just didn't work out. So I've learned some things there. There was a lot of education. I learned for myself that I was never gonna wanna have that big, huge salon. And so after different experiences of different salons, I found that there was a lot of internal drama that it just didn't work well with me. So eventually, I just had enough of seeing things within salons that made me go home one day, and I'll never forget, it was like May 22nd, 1999, to be exact. That was the day that I left working for a salon where I was the employee. And now we had just signed our mortgage paper on our house. At the time, I was 29 years old. But I just knew I needed to do something differently. And so step one was to work for myself. Step two was to figure out a way to make good money behind my salon chair since I now decide to chuck being safe and working for somebody out the window. So that brings me to help is sharing with you that when you specialize and you decide to find your niche with what it is that you want to do behind your chair, I know you can do it because I've already done it. So what I started out with was color, and not just doing just color and every 5 weeks, okay, come back Mary Susie Jane, but it was corrective color. So again, this would have been in 1999, which is actually the last century, okay. So even though I was a new colorist, what I had done differently was and I suggest for you is if you have not yet gotten involved with one of the hair color manufacturers, if hair color is your passion, then definitely, definitely look at that avenue. So for me, it was Redken. Redken was a huge part of my life over the last 30 years, for a good 10 of it, but for the color education, all of it. I remember if you have not yet been to a hair show, go to a hair show. There's nothing more exciting than being around a bunch of us with the music and seeing the stuff on the stage and the hair flying and the color flying. And so that quickly was what really got me excited about color and makeovers because don't you love it if you have experienced yet somebody coming to you and either wanting their color completely different or maybe they might have grabbed a box color? And let's not hate on the women that box color their hair so much. I've seen over the last 30 years the marketing, and I love marketing. If you're following me, you know I love marketing. And if you're new to following me, I can help you with your marketing. They've been bombarded with either TV commercials, Facebook ads, just the different ways that the big companies just make it look like it's just so easy to color your hair at home. And we know it's not. So let's talk about the consultation. So when you want to position yourself as an expert, you need to set yourself apart and make yourself be the expert, and you need to present yourself as if you are the expert because after all, you're the expert. So when it comes to setting up a consultation, this is what I had done in the beginning. I had made a consultation packet that was geared towards corrective color. And so when you make a special consultation packet, Don't be worried about it having too many questions. The more questions that you can ask that are open-ended, you'll be able to help the customer who's not a hairstylist be able to communicate with you better. And also sometimes when it comes to providing hair color, hair smoothing, and especially extensions, with more questions, you'll have more information to be able to offer better solutions and help your customers meet their expectations. Because sometimes you just need to ask questions in a few different ways. So I started out first with just having one consultation packet. Then it would be geez, it's been, I don't know, it's been more than 15 years. Once Japanese straightening had come about, that was like the new thing. And we're talking like probably a good 15, maybe even 17 years ago. So I had a separate consultation packet for that. And then there was hair extensions. So I've been certified with hair extensions for 18 years. So yeah, so some of this is about almost 20 years old. So I had a separate consultation packet for that. Now here is something that is worth gold, okay? And my private coaching clients, they've already experienced working up close on how to implement this further. And if you want to take a deeper dive, we can do that. But if you have a interest in maybe a combination of those three things, well, why not make one questionnaire, one packet, so that way, are you not the expert, right? Lean in. You're the expert. Look in the mirror and say, you're the expert. Because what consumers are looking for now hasn't changed much, but how they look for us has definitely changed. The things that they're going to look for now, and there's a stat out there that's roughly up to about 92% now, are good reviews. Days have gone by of like things have changed in that respect. Today's hair consumers are doing their research first, meaning the Google, and then coming to us sometimes second. So what you need to do is you need to have a good, solid consultation process as your first service. Because, if you don't, and you don't grab their attention enough, and they don't feel comfortable with you enough, they're not going to do business with you. So when I say that I've tested things, we'll go back about 20 years. I started charging for a consultation 20 years ago. It was unheard of back then. Even now, since there's been 2 decades have gone by, there's a that's two decades is enough for another generation of hairstylists. So this might be new information for you. So when you can charge what you want, but at least charge something. Because right now I've got a clock on the wall, that, one of those old clocks that goes tick, 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 tick. Like you can actually hear it tick. And there's one thing that I keep saying that on my wall is this: time is not replaceable. I want you to repeat that too. Time is not replaceable. Money will always be replaceable. And it doesn't matter if you're behind the chair 5 years, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, or what have you, money is always going to be replaceable. You don't ever have to worry about running out of hair clients. I've been at this 3 decades. I still haven't run out of hair clients, and I've been in the same like small, well, they call it a city, but my same local, say, neighborhood for 30 years, and I still continually get new clients. And that's with me specializing in hair extensions. So also let's talk about like when it comes to charging, when people are just starting out to charge for a consultation, my question to you is, how much is your haircut? you know? So if you need a starting point as far as how much to charge, my professional recommendation is charge what you would charge for a haircut. And if you don't know yet that somebody is willing to pay for a consultation and you're telling yourself, oh, no, never, they won't, they won't, they won't. Pretend that voice is a sock puppet and you just go like that and tell it to shut up. Because take it from me, if you don't believe that somebody will pay, borrow my belief because I know they will. So then here's a couple techniques that you can do too. You can either charge and have it be just a standalone fee, or you can charge it and then you can apply it towards the actual services. And don't discount the service, just have it be part of, say, the deposit for the service. And then here's the other big thing that you have to start implementing. And I know this works. Have it be bookable online and then have it be that customers have to prepay for it. Yes, I said prepay for your time. Oh God, nobody's going to do that. Oh, that's so uncomfortable. That's unheard of in our industry. Oh, why would you do that? Listen, I've been at this a long time. I've got big shoulders and I've been sharing this like inside groups now for like a year and a half. I've had I've had some interesting feedback come at me. And so imagine if or have you, I'm going to ask you, have you ever flown on a plane? Or do you entertain the idea of flying on a plane? Okay, so imagine that your salon is an airline. And like when you get on a plane and you buy an airline ticket, what do they make you do? They make you pay up front. You do not get on the plane, you do not sit in the seat of a plane without paying first. And the same thing goes for your hair chair. If your hair chair was a seat on a plane, well, nobody's going to get to sit in it until they pay for it. And what they're paying for is your professional time, and you are giving them the guaranteed time, appointment time, to reserve that professional time so that you are both committed. Because if you just give away your time for free, I did, I think, I don't know if I turned that into a podcast or I might have done another go live about this. I want you to truly start thinking of your free consultation as the big, scary, time sucking, non profitable monster. Okay? And some of you are going to argue with me, or the concept, not me personally, that like, oh, well, you know what? I don't need to charge everybody books. Great. Fantastic. Awesome. And then I'm going to put that on pause. I can tell you at where things are today is that from my own professional experiences, do you know that there are customers, consumers out there that will seek you out as an independent stylist just solely based on the fact that you charge for a consultation and not because you're free? There's always going to be somebody that's free, but with free comes no commitment, no need to show up. And you know what? It doesn't matter sometimes how many appointment reminders that you send somebody that has booked your time for free. When something's free, they don't value it. What they value is their money, they value their time. And when you get them to share both their time and their money, they will show up. So, and the other thing that I like to also ask too is that have you ever paid your hard earned money to take an educational hair class? You probably did, right? Like, and do you remember being excited to go? And hopefully the class was educational and you learned something, right? And then with that, you went, you were excited, they met your expectations, it raised your level of expertise. so that you could then provide that hair salon service, right? For what? So that you can provide a consultation for free and you give the new customers access to that. That just doesn't add up. Now, I want you to think of do you and I'm gonna ask you, do you have, Costco's or BJ's in your area? You probably do, right? Now, what is it that both of those big chain box stores that we go to, bulk stores, you buy stuff in bulk, have in common? Well, they do they or do they not let you in the store for free? No. They charge a membership fee. So, and then everybody gets access. We happen to shop at Costco's. And then from there, you go inside and you're able to go shopping and you never leave that store for anything under 100 bucks most of the time, right? Well, I want you to start thinking too of yourself like an airline, uh, and like say Costco's. Put a price on access to you because you cannot get your time back. And if you were to sit down and figure out and keep track of it, how many hours over like say we'll start with a month are you giving away free consultations? You know, is it 1 a week, 2 a week? Are you allotting a half an hour, for a consultation, an hour? I happen to be at an hour and a half, but I also charge $250 now. Yes, I said $250. And people pay it. Uh, so, but going back to if you're not charging and you add that up, if you are an independent hairstylist, well, I know from experience, you have your booth rental fee. You have to order you have to order the retail, you have to order hair color. And if you do extensions, I do not need to tell you that like that how much we know right here. We know that like a box of hair is not free. So, in the other thing too is that when it comes to money, charging prices, and whether you charge for consultation or not, the topic of money is emotionally charged. We all inherit beliefs around money from all different places. We're influenced either by our parents, things that we see, the people we hang out with. And guess what? It doesn't mean that you're a bad person if you charge for a consultation. It just shows that you're extremely professional. And then think about it from your customer's point of view, and especially if you do hair extensions. So, when it comes to doing hair extensions, if you have not started yet, uh, it's good to have your policies set up, learn how to have policies and boundaries set up first. And then just know too that you're going to be spending a very long time with one client. So, on the flip side of it, I've had one customer that comes to mind said that she intentionally reached out to my salon because I charged for a consultation. And what she shared with me was that the price of the consultation was was actually it was I'm trying to remember how it was exactly. She said, "Oh, she said that it was a minimal. How about that? Minimal investment to find out if everything was going to work for her and if it was going to be a good fit for her lifestyle and if we were going to be a good fit." So sometimes us hairstylists, I say, might have get a little too caught up in like, oh, I wonder if the customer's going to be a good fit for us, blah blah blah. It's not about us, even though it is when it comes to like all the daily workings of what it is that we have to do to run our lives behind our chair. When you really start focusing in on what type of customer service experience that you can master and how and really enjoy that aspect of it, um, that's when the magic happens. When you really love providing customer service, you will see that you can do anything you want behind your chair. That like, know, and trust factor, if you have heard of that before, that happens a lot faster through communication. I had a consultation this week with my newest hair extension client. I had her show me a whole bunch of different pictures. In fact, that's some of the hair, some of the order for her new look for next week. And through talking and asking enough questions about, do you want blonde? Do you want it more brown? Do you want blonde brown? Do you want more blonde? Do you want to see more brown? And then I had her come in. Her consultation was an hour and a half, went through everything. And some things that you can do with the consultation is definitely use your phone. And then to take pictures, in fact, of their hair. I'm gonna pull up just an example. All right. So this is what I had done was her ends are that much lighter than her own top of her natural hair. And because when you use pictures to show your client a picture of themselves, it's much easier to be able to and oh, okay, let's see. Oops, get this to focus. There you go. All right. So covering her face at the moment. But what I did was I had her send me a picture of herself, and then where previously she was more blonde, and then her ends are more faded because she had some of her blonde was covered up, and she had gone darker, and then it faded, and then she didn't want it as red. Now, one of the examples that she had shown me was really, really blonde like that, but what she was looking at was actually that money piece up top. And so after going through all of that, and taking a second look at things the day after, what I do is then take those photos and I upload them into a file. And it happens to be, I have a whole customer all in one dashboard to keep everything organized. And if you don't have one, just reach out to me. So I uploaded everything into the media library to really take a look at what it was that she was saying. Now, here's the best thing that you can do as a stylist, even after you've done a consultation, whether it be a half hour, an hour, or an hour and a half. And it doesn't matter if you charge $20, 30, 40, 50, 75, 100, 150, 200, or 250. Okay? It doesn't matter the dollar amount. It matters that you care. It matters that you listen. It matters that you look with your eyes and you take in the whole experience with visiting with the new customer for like a whole scene in a movie is how I do it. Now, this customer happened to be very quiet, very, very quiet. So you also have to acknowledge, like, if you're really, really rambunctious, to focus on the customer. You don't want to come at them like, roar. So you might need to just pull things back a little bit, ask questions in a different way, ask them to show you more pictures. And so with this particular client, there had been talk of when we were leaving the appointment, we had two swatches, and the words chocolate was awesome because they actually wanted to keep a bit more of the brown for a backdrop and then the blonde was contrasty. But then I still had like one more question, like after I had taken a look at that yesterday. And so you know what you do? If in doubt, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. And just text. Well, first of all, what I did was I text them, said, "Hey, super excited to start working with you again. Had one quick question," and then pick up the phone. So I just wanted to let her know, and this is how I handled it. Hey, so and so, really excited to work with you. Thank you so much. I'm glad we went over everything. Just trying to nail down just the specifics on about, do you want to? I'm just going to keep this really simple. Would you prefer to see more blonde or more brown? Because whichever it is, I've got you covered. And she's like, "Oh, I found this other picture." I'm like, "Okay, great. Hey, send it to me. More pictures the merrier." And she was able to pinpoint the picture that she wants. And so the purpose of consulting with your clients is spending the time with them, for them, about them, so that you can nail it as a stylist. And isn't it nice to be able to earn their trust so much that they just want to be able to sit in the chair? This particular client probably just wants to read her Kindle, and she feels comfortable. And then and you've had those clients, and you can just go in the back in your wherever your color area is, and you can just start like creatively thinking, like, what color formula are you going to do? And when you're able to package your consultation based on enough questions, enough trust, and lay it out for the customer, you're going to be able to undoubtedly be able to be more creative, work less, work on fewer clients, and you'll be able to charge more money. So, and before leaving you, I want to ask you this. Have you yet been able to call any of your vendors? I'm gonna role play right now. Yeah, hey, oh yeah, it's Anne Marie here. I wanna order some hair. Okay, great. I need this many packages. Okay. Oh, you need payment? Are you accepting free today? Um, you're not accepting free today? Well, why not? Because it simply doesn't work that way. There is not a form of payment called free that you are going to be able to pay your overhead with. So work smarter. Don't work so hard. Don't feel guilty about not charging for a consultation. Start doing it and start doing it now. Okay. So again, think of your next if you think about doing another free consultation, it's a big, scary, time-sucking, non-profitable monster. You're not doing yourself any favors doing free, right? So that's it. And for more information on how to strategize, implement, and automate this process, just message me, or you can visit annemariewaltz.com. I specialize in helping independent stylists do what it was that I just said, which is strategize, automate, and strategize, implement, and automate your processes to make your life easier and to help you work less and make more. Thank you.